Good morning from a lovely Pietermaritzburg Oval. It's me, Ahmed Amla, with you again after yesterday. Wonderful cricket, sets it up so beautifully. We've got the two victorious teams taking on each other, the SA Under-19 and the AET Tuskers. And with me today, I've got Christo. Missed you yesterday, but welcome. It's good to see that smile next to me. We've got an exciting day of cricket left for us.
Fantastic, Ahmed. Thank you. And to our listeners, what a beautiful day out at Pietermaritzburg Oval. I am with Ahmed Amla. We will be talking you through this fantastic cricket today at the Maritzburg Oval. SA Under-19 versus Tuskers. The first one, they're kicking it off for us, Ahmed. And looks like we're all ready to go.
Yeah, no surprise. I mean, the Tuskers won the toss and they decided to field. We saw yesterday both teams that won chased down probably sub-par totals. What's going to be very interesting is you got the SA Under-19 opening pair who were brilliant yesterday, aggressive, taking on the bowling. So let's see how they fare against the Tuskers bowling.
Fantastic. Keith Dungeon getting proceedings underway, and just well left there, first delivery.
Yeah, one thing that was very noticeable yesterday was the length that the seamers bowled up front. They didn't go too full. They were persisting with the shorter deliveries, back of a length, and there were a lot of mistakes made from the batters. A lot of the early wickets were through attempted pull shots. I think the Oval, one of the main things is that it is a bit slower than you think. The pitch is slow. It's true, but you have to get the pace of the wicket before you play any aggressive shots.
As you said that, Ahmed, big swipe there outside the off stump with offered. The young man would feel a bit hard done that he didn't cash in on that time. Having also coached at this ground before, you mentioned the slowness, Ahmed, and I'm sure I had a look at the wicket this morning. It looked really dry. What was it like yesterday with the spinners? Did they really come into the game at any stage?
Well, it's difficult to say. Most of the spinners that bowled sort of bowled quicker and flatter, so they didn't really give it a chance to spin. But I mean, you had a look this morning. You can see that it is dry, but there are some patches of green grass there. So I would expect it to be on a touch slower side with some uneven bounce maybe later on through the day. Again, it's going to be key how these SA Under-19 batters get through this power play. Because you see, if you're below par on the power play, it's too difficult to catch up. Both teams batting first yesterday were probably 20 runs short.
Yeah. So Dungeons seem to be hitting the wicket hard. Herman, 3 dots. I'm sure the young man was starting to feel a bit of pressure to at least get off the mark and get his side going this morning. But Dungeon being tight that time around. Yeah, just talking about the pitch, Ahmed, looked really dry. Obviously, they played on the wicket next to it yesterday, so it's a fresh strip, but it did seem really dry this morning, looking at it.
Well, one thing you do get the feeling that any width on offer, the batsmen, especially Herman, is looking to throw his hands at it. So if he's going to get some contact, it could bring third man into play. We saw a few catches that really flew down to the deep fielders.
Yeah, as you say that, Ahmed, deep squares come up into the ring, and the sweeper's gone out in the offside boundary.
Didn't take too long before the fancy shots came out. You just feel that, was it really called for? I mean, that's the end of the first over. Brilliant start from the AET Tuskers. Keith Dungeon, experienced campaigner. Just a single off there, single leg by.
Yeah, and you mentioned that it would have been good for the young man to play an orthodox cricket shot, through the covers, and the kinky shots has come out. Modern day cricketers, Ahmed, I think really getting stuck into these kinky shots, but
well, you love to see the aggressive intent, no doubt. I don't take anything away from that.
Yeah.
Just again, it boils down to shot selection based on the conditions. But again, with the field placing probably dictated that the only option if you wanted to look for a boundary was to manufacture a shot onto the leg side. And here we have Stephen Tate, who bowled beautifully yesterday. I mean, his first 2 deliveries, he had 2 wickets, he was on a hat-trick.
Wow.
So let's see if he can replicate
Yesterday.
Didn't really give us a chance to see if he swung the ball, because most of it was back of a length.
A little bit of swing on offer there. The line not great, but yeah, and they've gone through for a leg by Stephen Tate Ahmed actually hails from Port Elizabeth, now known as Kabaga. Bit of a complicated one there, but went to Framesby High School and was involved in the Warriors setup, and he had a bit of an injury, and it's actually good to see him running in and bowling again.
There's that bit of uneven bounce that I did expect to happen with those, as you said, drier surfaces with the odd patches of grass. I'm sure Grant Morgan for the Tuskers would have ensured that the fielders would be up for it, because we saw the running between wickets from the SA19 boys was immaculate yesterday. There's that swing, just helped over, fine leg. Well played. There is a bit of shape on offer this morning.
The young man just clipping that. Ahmed, a bit too straight, outside leg stump, fine leg up, freebie, what a gift to get. And Prince is off the mark there. Steph Tate just battling with his line a little bit. Once again, Ahmed really straight. Oof, he had to scamper there.
Yeah, but that's the intent in the running that they brought yesterday. Any bat and ball and they're looking for that single is going to put the fielders in the ring under pressure. You'll always have a chance of a run out, but you got to make sure everything is 100% clean. It's good to see he's got the shape coming back. I mean, that's one of the things, adds a lot of attacking options for a left armer. As soon as he can swing the ball into the right hander, it opens up many other ways of dismissal.
Yeah, just always great to see a left arm in the attack, Ahmed. Just that, being able to swing the ball.
Well, Herman has definitely woke up on the right side or the wrong side of the bed. He's been in 5th gear from ball 1.
Swinging really hard, Ahmed, but not making contact. And if I look at his head position, not to get too technical this morning, but the good players in the game really keep their heads still and their heads are down at point of contact. So perhaps something he can just look at.
There we go, leaning back, just a bit full, gave himself some room. It's well timed, through extra cover, running away to the boundary. Brings the end to the second over. SA under 19 on their merry way.
It's gone outside leg stump and he's caressed it through extra cover. Good way to finish the over. And yeah.
Takes us to 11 without loss. A decent start thus far. Well, just the intent just shows me that obviously the coach and the batters in the SN understand that you got to get at least close to 160 to have a chance of defending the score. Both scores yesterday, 140 and 150, were chased within 16 overs by the teams batting second.
Dungeon been really tidy this morning, Ahmed. And I'm sure these batters would have chatted briefly in between the overs to say potentially, just looking at the field, the way it's set, there's an opportunity over extra cover, perhaps straight, for them to get stuck into him. He's really hitting a hard length, and it's what is good to see. They're always looking for those singles as well, backing up.
Just missing his line, has helped along. by Prince. Flick to deep square leg for 4.
Just the speed of those wrists, Ahmed. He flicks it in behind square. And the flourish at the end there.
It's actually been a total contrast from yesterday morning. In the Eastern Storm were trying to go about their business. We had to wait almost till the 10th over for the second boundary, and here we're rollicking along.
Quality length from Dungeon that time around, asking the question from Prince, and Prince responds with a solid forward defense. Yeah, just looking at the SA Under-19 management, Ahmed Shukri Conrad, obviously an experienced coach. He's coached the Lions, he's coached the Cobras, and
There we go, testing the young man. That's one for the over. The AET Tuskers have, on paper, plenty bowling options. They've got, besides Dudgeon and Tate,
yes.
with the new ball, they've got Mthletwa, who also bowled a bit yesterday. Andile, as an all-rounder, can chip in with a few overs. And then they've got ample spinners, 2 off spinners and 2 left-arm spinners to choose from. So most bases covered.
seemed like a bit of a cutter there from Dungeon, and again also having a word there, Ahmed.
Yeah, no bowler likes to bowl to an opening batter who's playing across the line. He's running in with a new ball. He's bowling a decent length, and he feels that he should be shown some respect. But we've seen with the advent of T10, T20, the respect for bowling is
It's a batter's game, Ahmed.
unless you're bowling at 150. Everyone else is fair game. That's a beautiful shot. Answered the words. Overpitched, hammered. Beautiful straight drive.
If we look at this once again, absolute balance and poise, Ahmed. The best shot in the book, the on drive. And for those who are watching, if there's any young cricketers watching, that is the shot that you want to play. Fantastic stroke. Just picking up a pattern here, Ahmed, from the bowlers. Last ball of the over. Overs going for boundary. I'm sure the coaching staff would look into that. It just hurts the bowling unit when that happens.
Yeah, definitely. You want to save your over and finish off well. But it works both ways, because even the batters, I mean, if you look at, there weren't many singles in the over. It was either a dot or a swish, so you're expecting something to happen. There we go. That's just propped into the offside, straight to mid-off, and they're off for a single.
You've got to love their energy, Ahmed. The young men, SA Under-19, really running well between the wickets. And once again, if they're young players watching this game, showing intent and making sure you're picking up those singles, even in the power play, is important.
There we go, back of a length again. Looking for the pull shot. There's 2 men out there for that. We saw Herman give himself some room the over before. Maybe Prince would be thinking the same thing. All the fielders are up in the ring on the offside if he's looking for a boundary option. That's good pace there from Tate. It's a lot, I mean, I mentioned it yesterday, is a lot quicker than you think. Probably deceptive in the run-up. It's pretty smooth and no real explosion, but at the crease generates a lot of pace with his strength.
Yeah, good to see the boys still using the bouncer, Ahmed, even in the power play, keeping the batsman honest. You spoke about that uneven bounce. So one's gone over his head, and then next one's nearly hit him on the foot, Ahmed.
To be fair, it was a touch fuller, but they definitely kept lower than Prince was expecting. It's adding to the challenge this morning for the batters. Well, I'm sure at the beginning they'd be happy they've moved on to 20 without loss. There we go, that's high in the air. Somebody going to get underneath that one. It's a tough one. Oh, he lets it bounce. And they're turning back for the third. Excellent running. That went miles in the air, Christo.
Didn't look like the fielders were that keen to get underneath that, Ahmed. I have to be honest. Just they looked at each other. Yours, my, and eventually.
Well, if you could throw a dart that was perfectly in the middle of both mid on and mid off, add to the fact that they had to cover about 15 meters. That's short and it's hammered.
Beautiful.
Over long off into the direction.
Incredible shot from the young man as we look at it.
He shimmied just down the wicket a bit there, Christo. He used his feet.
Beautiful shot from the young man. And the balance, Ahmed. Head still. And the
They
free
both-
flow of the hands.
Christo, both of them yesterday really were a bit slow up front and then sort of kicked into gear. They both look quite accomplished, nice and aggressive. Takes the SA under 19 after 4 overs to 27 for naught.
Yeah.
What's going to be interesting now is when does Michael Yaran call on his spinners? And is he going to go for the off spinner or the left armer? In the power play, we saw yesterday, as soon as the spinner came on, the batters were using their feet, accomplished at sweeps and reverse sweeps. And we didn't have to wait too long. That's Malcolm Nofal.
Oh, the man from Gauteng. The left arm spinner. Yeah, also well travelled. He went to New Zealand a little bit, played some cricket there, Ahmed, and has returned to his own country, and so has reconnected with the coach Grant Morgan, who coached extensively in Gauteng as well. So good to see Nofal back out playing some cricket again for the Tuskers.
Yeah, and he definitely has got a plan here, because generally a left arm spinner is going to have long off back instead of long on. So it's quite interesting. Maybe he's looking to get the batters to play across the line, or hopefully they look to play out through the offside and it skids on. Yeah, running hard, looking for 2.
Yeah, Ahmed, Nofal, not a big turn of the ball. He'll be, as you've highlighted, he'll be bowling stump to stump, forcing the batters to hit to mid-wicket, deep mid-wicket boundary, and also long on.
Well, the danger is if he just misses that line and aiming off stump. Oh, that's well bowled. Quick single, is it? Oh,
Great run. And what this running does, the fielders in the ring have to be really sharp, because these young men, under 19.
yeah, and the other thing is they probably will be happy with just a single and the boundaries at this stage. They've kept the run rate in check. And if Nofal can buy a dot or 2,
I'd like to think, Ahmed, not long before that sweep's going to come out.
Well, there's-
Square leg up and short fine leg side. So, and the young players are brave enough to risk.
it's been a brilliant over so far. Hasn't missed his mark.
You can hear the fielders saying happy with this singles, Ahmed.
That's the one. Was it a chance?
Opportunity.
Bludgeoned down the ground. Almost went straight into Nofal's pocket.
What a stroke. Oh, chance given, Ahmed.
Hit so firmly, it looked like he was late in reacting. Pretty fortunate it wasn't at him.
Beautiful stroke.
And he goes again, is it? Oh! Nasty bounce there, back-to-back boundaries. What a finish to the over. Those weren't that bad deliveries, just bit of luck in the first one.
Yeah.
But the second one, he took it on. Very, very fortunate for mid-off. Could have so easily. You know, you always tell when you're coaching younger kids, you get the body behind the ball. Then when you come to professional cricket and then you see that and you wonder, is it really the body behind the ball?
Take one in the teeth for the team.
Yeah. Maybe you just got to teach them to get the shin behind the ball, not the face.
Yeah, Tuskers, SA under 19, Ahmed 38 for none after 5. It's a change of bowler.
Yeah, they needed that over. It was quite tidy until the last 2 deliveries. Just 3 of the first 4 and then back-to-back boundaries. They'll be looking to hopefully get another 10 or 11 of this over. Put them bang on target. That's in the air. Is it a chance? Oh, it's dropped. Not expecting it. Forza at mid-wicket. Normally a really safe pair of hands. Feels in the gully a lot. Oh. Probably on the heels, if anything. How costly is that going to be? That would have been a gem of a wicket for Mshletwa.
What a brilliant run.
Ooh. Oh, and there's going to get another one.
Almost looked like he didn't slide his bat there, Ahmed, but umpire is saying he's in.
Yeah, tough one to give, unfortunately. Punishment for the direct hit. We saw that in the World Cup final. Sometimes as a fielder you shy, you get punished when it hits the bat or the stump and goes for 4. You can't take that back.
Ricochets. Clio, yeah, fairly tidy start from him.
And not as quick as Tate. Oh, that's hammered. Again, half a chance. Hit back firmly. Prince stamping his authority at the moment.
Yeah, Ahmed, what is good to see from the young batters, SA under 19, when a bad ball is on offer, Ahmed, they're making sure they're hitting it to the boundary. In this power play, they've been clinical in their execution.
Add to that, Crystal, one of the main things is that they've realized that the oval, you got to be hitting the ball in front of the wicket. Straight back past the bowler, over the cover, through the covers. Oh, and that's helped. No one back there. Is it going to carry all the way? Maximum.
Incredible stroke. A length delivery has been dragged from outside off stump over the mid-wicket boundary for 6, and fantastic hit.
Brings up their 50 partnership. Back to back. Yesterday, this opening pair put 50 on together, and they're backing it up again. Quite incredible.
You can just see their confidence, obviously on the back of yesterday, Ahmed. They're playing freely. They're putting the bowlers under pressure, which is good, and they're running well.
Oh, back of a length at him. Decent reply, nipping in. A lot of risk in that with third man, fine leg and deep square leg in the ring. Any attempt at would have probably just carried over these guys.
I think the thing that saved him there from our angle, Ahmed, was the fact that it nipped back. It almost cramped the batter, but if there was any worth an offer there, as you've highlighted, third man up, even point up, anything over there would have been 4. Deep square moving back.
That's hammered in front of square. That's 4 more. Not the best of ideas on this pitch in the last over of the power play to persist with the shorter balls. He's been very quick to pick anything up. It's well hit. Excellent power play from the SA under 19, taking them to 54 without loss. Prince moved swiftly onto 34. And Harriman supporting him ably on 20.
Just like once again want to highlight the last ball of most of the overs in the park. They've gone for a boundary, boundary. And so I think for the Tuskers, if they get through today, something for them to work through yesterday, tomorrow with their skipper. But it's important for them to learn how to get out of the over.
Yeah, I'm sure the video analyst, every team has an analyst these days, will be one of the first ones to point that out. The number of times you mentioned the last ball or the penultimate delivery was a boundary. And here we go, no fouls continuing. Well fielded, is there a chance? No, not.
Great fielding of his own bowling, Malcolm Nofel.
That's what you want to see from the Tuskers, a bit of desperation for the singles.
What a great platform for S under 19. I made 54 for none after 6.
You've seen yesterday, it just leaves them with so many options going forward. Yesterday, number 3, they walked in Matthew Bose to hit the first ball out the park.
Good shot.
Great running. They're running the third one, showing the value of running hard between the wickets.
I must say Tuskers a little bit sloppy that time around.
Yeah, and the
shot should have gone for 1 to the sweeper on the offside, and it's ended up being 3 runs. I'm sure Grant Morgan, the coach, will not be happy with that.
There we go, looking for the second again.
Just nice simple cricket, Ahmed, hitting the sweeper long off.
Yeah, this is going to be the interesting phase from 6th to maybe the 11th or 12th over. How do they go about it? Are they going to continue pushing for the boundaries? I wouldn't be surprised if they do. And how they go about identifying the pockets of spaces for these boundary options against the spinners.
Yeah, sometimes some teams can fall into the trap of just knocking singles, but if you really want to put your foot down, you've had it off to a good start. What I'm enjoying, they're still running hard. Every time they hit the ball to the sweeper, looking for that misfield and then just to apply pressure on the fielding team.
Well, you know, from the Tuskers' point of view, they'd be happy with these singles, even the odd 2. It's the boundaries that are going to hurt them the most in this period of play. It's a decent over. Brings us to the end of the 7th, 61 without loss.
Yeah, tidy over from Nofel. And as the drinks come on, always having some refreshments.
And a pair of gloves.
If you've just joined us with Peter Marisburg Oval, Cricket South Africa Division 2. Some refreshments on offer for the young men, it's under 19. Perhaps some instructions there from the coaches as well. Possibly saying continue, keep the intent going. But you spoke about those pockets earlier on. I mean, looking at the field, extra cover, the cow area, seems like big pockets for guys to be able to access some boundaries, especially if Nofel is quite tidy, but he does bowl tight on the stump, so you're really going to have to go inside the ball if you want to hit it over there. Generally, you might have to work him leg side because he's really tight.
The one thing that's different from yesterday is that we probably bang in the middle today. So both sides, you don't have a bigger boundary and a shorter boundary. So you're going to find that whether you're right-hander, left-hander, off-spin, left-armer, you got pockets on both sides. It's just a matter of identifying your strengths as a batter. Oh, there we go, well taken. For a split second there, it looked like he misjudged it. Well caught in the end.
Good catch. Back of the length.
Christo, you pointed out the last over. It's just that back of the nipping back cramped him for room. If it didn't nip back, he probably would have had more chance to get it over short third man. That's the breakthrough the Tuskers needed. Whether it's a build-up from not getting a boundary the over before, a tidy over from no-fall. Value of partnerships. Eh? Just this is the test for the SA19 batters. How do they go about it?
You made such a good point, Ahmed. Especially once they get out of that power play, the field does go back, and so yeah, it's so crucial to continue the momentum from that power play. And boundaries won't always be on offer, but sometimes twos and running hard. And when the bad ball does come, to put it away.
Well, the SA19 have continued. They send in a hard-hitting Matthew Boast. Played a little gem of a cameo yesterday with a 39 of under 20 balls. Love to see if he can continue this today. Different challenge though. It's facing a much more improved bowling unit.
What would be good for him as a left-hander, and Nofel, the left-arm spinner, would generally be bowling into him. So it should be a bit of pressure for Nofel as well, bowling to a lefty.
Well, just to throw a spanner in the works, I would definitely from the Tuskers be thinking about giving one of the opening bowlers another burst. But you've got Tate and Dudgeon, both only bowled 2 overs. You've got enough seam options. Why not throw a cat amongst the pigeons here and bring one of them back just to bowl an over of some pace at these guys. Right? With the field back, Prince, you saw he was very compulsive on taking on the shorter ball. And you know, over the period of time, generally the big fast bowlers who can hit the ball don't like it up anything above the waist. It's no secret.
It's good to see the bouncer still being used.
Yeah, it's no
even
secret.
in T20 cricket, the boys don't like it upstairs.
Well, besides that, there's no bowlers union anymore now. You know, no matter where you bat, you're gonna get your fair share.
You're gonna cop it.
Pitched up, and you can see second delivery, Bose is latched onto it, hitting him over extra cover. If that doesn't open Alizile's eyes, nothing will. He's got to keep the ball aggressively hitting the pitch.
He's just floated it up there. I mean, outside off stump. Boast has clobbered it over extra cover, and 4 runs. Quite a big lad, Boast. So anything sort of on a length outside off stump, he's gonna get stuck into that. Slower ball that time around. Just dropped it for a single. But I loved what you said earlier on. It would be good to get one of the quicks back.
Well, it's just one of the options. I mean, you've got enough seam bowling options. Why wait till the end of the innings to bowl your main bowlers? This is the opportunity. We got a wicket. Tuskers we're hoping for a wicket. They've got one. Let's see. They need to follow it up. There we go. As I said, compulsive on the short ball.
Yeah, Prince, and also with deep square back, I'm sure the Tuskers will be happy for him to have a go that way. Doesn't seem to be in control of that pull shot really.
Well, he's hit a couple of good ones, but they weren't as high as the last delivery. Anything above chest high is where you're going to create some problems, especially with deep square leg and fine leg back.
Short back of a length. He's hit it out to the offside sweeper on the boundary, and they've scampered through.
And that brings us to the end of the 8th over. The SA under 19 are 67 for 1.
That brings the score to 67 for 1 after 8 overs.
So just your take, Bose would have possibly been given the instruction to play aggressively, and Prince perhaps see how deep he can go.
Well, besides, I mean, I would have thought the message when they were changing gloves would have been from the coach and the management. There would have been both batters keep being aggressive, and whoever gets out then just needs to build a partnership again and let Bose come in and play his game, which is to looking for the cameo.
Another left arm spin on. And Forza.
Oh, there we go. At least he's offering a warning.
It's been in the news a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, at least he's offered the warning there. I wonder if it'll keep him in the crease. We can watch from here, Christo. He's not leaving now.
Change of ball, another left arm spinner from that end. Forza. How did he go yesterday, Ahmed?
Well, over the past few seasons, he's been an integral part of the one-day cricket. He bowls exceptionally well in the power play. He bowled yesterday in the power play. Probably went for a few runs too many because there were some decent strokes up front. But he's been very effective. He doesn't turn it that much. A little bit slower than Nofa. That's a brilliant shot, hit well in front of square, running away for 4.
The impressive part of that shot, Ahmed, if you look at it, no real feet being used, just absolute hands and the timing.
More than that, just the placement. He had the presence of mind to make sure he hit it well in front of point. Anything to the square would have been just a single. That was brilliantly timed. There we go, let's go on, Miles.
Oh.
But it might only be 4 if it touches the tree. That's the biggest 4 you'll ever see. Christo?
Ahmed, cut the trees down here.
That's a 100-meter 4.
Cut the trees down, brother.
The best part is when the analysts do the projection like they do in golf, it will be showing a carry of 110 meters, but it's only 4 runs.
It's the biggest 4 I've seen, Ahmed.
Oh.
Boast really is coming and he's really taking the
it brings
game
me
by the
back to
scruff.
my point. You know what he's about. You saw it yesterday. You know that anything in his half is going to be hammered. Why not throw the dice and bring one of your pace bowlers back? Again, hammered down to long off. And that's a misfield, a nasty bounce.
She's nearly
Are they looking for 3? Yes, they might be coming back. They will. Oh, that was a nasty bounce on the boundary there.
Looks like he's down.
Yes,
really
hit him on
hit
the
him
shoulder.
Shoulder. But coming back to your point, the Tuskers haven't read the situation. They obviously would have seen footage of Boast. Ahmed, he's absolutely the medium pacer and the spinner.
Well, I'll give you.
Dominating
I'll
them.
throw another thing for you. He's originally from Hilton College, so you know that the potential of the kid. He's a brilliant. That's a lovely shot down the ground. They're looking for 2. Yes, they will do. The running's been excellent. The running's been excellent thus far.
Quality shot from Prince that time around with the left arm spinner again, showing his balance there, straight down the ground.
Well, he's performing his role with Boast in batting with him to perfection at the moment. He's keeping it simple. He's rotating strike wherever possible. That brings us to the end of that over.
Really good over for SA under 19. 81 for 1, Ahmed. But it's playing itself out beautifully. Boast the aggressor and Prince ticking it over.
Yeah, well, he's done what he's supposed to do, which is excellent to see. There you go, another change in the bowling. You got Andile. Mokhakane played really well with the bat yesterday, saw the team home with an outstanding half century with the bat. His team going to need him with the ball today. SA under 19 going great guns. You'd think from this position, 81 for 1 after 9 overs, they got to be looking and eyeing in the region of 180 plus. Prince still in on 40. Matthew Bose just finding his range on 16. Just hit the biggest 4 that we've seen in a long time. Top of the tree.
Oh, he's he's missed out, Ahmed.
I'd be surprised.
He's just completely
is there a
hit
hole-
all
is-
around
is-
it.
is there a hole in
his
the bat?
He's just hit completely all around it.
When that happens in tennis, you just look at your strings and say, hey, is the string's still there?
A real gift first up.
I wouldn't be surprised if Andile really tries to bowl different pace deliveries, cutters.
There's that short ball again. You mentioned it. Tuskers. It'd be great to see Dungeon back or Tate. Both not looking that comfortable against the short ball. And Andile not the quickest of men, Ahmed, in terms of pace. And Boast has really hit all around it. So 2 in 2 from Boast.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If it was me, I would even bring mid-on up into the ring and drop your fine leg and just bowl at his. Because you know he's a clean striker. Oh, and that castles him. Grab the wicket there, a little bit fuller, hitting the top of leg stump. Well bowled and delay.
Once again, batters being cramped for room, and that seems to be on this wicket. If you're bowling tighter to the batter, and Bose didn't look comfortable with the ball coming in at his body. Ahmed, you mentioned
I
that.
think he also in his mind probably felt that he's going to get a few more short balls because that wasn't really that short for him to be looking to go across the line. He's a good, brilliant striker of the ball straight down the ground. But I think with that shorter ball, and even Andile asked the umpire, is there one for the over, that might have played on his mind to say, well, he's still got another one for me. But this is the real crux point for the SA Under-19. How do they go about it from here? They've just lost their aggressor. Prince is going well. In walks the captain, Van Heerden. Lovely batter, good technique, strikes the ball very clean.
Yeah.
How is he going to play? Is he going to continue the aggressive role? You know they're going to run well between the wickets. That's a given. They're going to push the fielders quite hard. But in between, how is he going to go about looking for the boundary? Are they going to look to keep going at 10 and over from here? Or is it a period of consolidation? If the Tuskers can hold them, they're going to look at keeping their score from projected 180 to maybe 150, 160. The next 3 to 4 overs are crucial.
Yeah, that wicket came at a good time for the Tuskers. Ahmed, this under-19, just when they were on the verge of getting momentum, Andile struck.
Ah, beautiful shot down the ground. It's going to be 2.
Well fielded by Keith Dungeon.
A little bit fuller, full face of the bat.
George Van Heerden, another one, Ahmed, that hails from PE. He went to Grey High School there. It's good to still see him involved in this setup.
Yeah, but again, I would be there we gone really full again.
Really
We've seen that the wicket is two-paced, has a bit of variable bounce. A lot of the indecision has been from the shorter deliveries against the quickish seamers. So you got a new batter in here. Why not? Again, if the Tuskers can be aggressive and say they're looking for another wicket instead of just worried about containing runs.
Yeah, Andile really showed his sort of experience in that over. He's able to get a wicket for his team, and the fuller ball has been hit down the ground, and so yeah, that short ball, as we mentioned, have caused the young men trouble, and that's something the Tuskers can really exploit to use it cleverly. SA Under-19 83 for 2 after 10. Malcolm Nofel. Nofel is back into the attack again. What does Prince do in this situation? 40 of 29, Ahmed.
Normally you'd expect these guys to buckle down for the next 12 balls and just make sure we don't go bang bang. But nothing would surprise me. we're talking about fearless cricket. Are the under 19 guys just going to keep going at 100 miles an hour? That's well played. Single down to long off.
Really good shot down there, and George van Heerden, what can he do now? You really have to go and rotate, and also make sure you're getting that scoreboard ticking.
Well, at the halfway stage, the Tuskers will be saying to themselves, they've got 80. If we can keep them to anything under 80, we'll be happy. For the latter half of the innings, the second half, they had a brilliant start. Halfway stage, they're sitting on 83. If we can keep them to anything under 83, we've actually done very well.
I think the Tuskers will be happy to chase anything within the range of 150, Ahmed, especially after that start.
It's excellent bowling, this one, no foul. Not giving any width so far.
Yeah, the fielding team would be happy with these singles, Ahmed. T20 cricket, those boundaries can really hurt the opposition. So singles, Tuskers would be pretty happy with this at this stage.
Well done there from point. He came in swiftly.
What a dot, it's like worth gold in this phase of the game.
Well, that's the thing. With the line that no fouls bowling, he's able to generate 2 decent dots and over. One back to him or one to the fielder. Make that 3.
Oh,
It's a brilliant over considering the situation. Really holding it back. There we go. The pressure's on this batting team now. Are they going to make a play for it?
yeah, that's the thing with the young minds at times, Ahmed. So they've gone dot, and Nofil has really bowled a brilliant over. The conversation in the middle will have to be one of, guys, we have to surely start at some point. Get a few more runs than just singles. 2s and 4s.
Well, to be fair, against Dudgeon, the way he bowled yesterday at the death, against Tate, the way he finished off, to expect 10 and over of them and at the end, it's probably going to be a tall order. So whether that's factoring into the equation.
Brilliant Yorker from Andile. He seems to have an array of skills. Ahmed, you would know him a bit better. He's bowled that short ball and he got rid of Boast. He's just executed a fantastic Yorker.
I think for him, he's quicker, he's a bit more skiddier than you think. So when it's shorter, it's probably a surprise. Maybe he's not consistent in his length. So that variation in T20 cricket, the natural variation in his length doesn't allow you to line him up. I mean, on some days, like today where he's on song and he's confident from yesterday's performances, things are working out. On another day, if he's not on song, then it could be that's what you got to take, the good and the bad. I mean, not every day is going to be a bed of roses. He's got to find some thorns somewhere along the line.
Especially in this short game. There's that short ball, one for the over, but a brilliant dot from Andile. He seems to have a spring in his step. If you look at his presence, his body language, seems to be enjoying himself out there today.
I just get the feeling, watching him bat yesterday, that he really is desperate to put in a performance for the Tuskers, to set himself up. He's an extremely talented cricketer.
On the ground for 1. So Van Heerden is 4 of 7. He's had a few sighters. 89 for 2 at this stage. Tuskers would be the happier of the two teams at this stage. Ahmed.
Yeah, they're doing an excellent job. Excellent. Oh, that's up there. Is it going to carry all the way? Yes, it has. Straight down the man's throat. Low full toss.
Absolutely brilliant catch.
he hit it better than he hoped. You know, sometimes you hit those ones and you think, hey, I hope I didn't time it that well. So it can drop short. Well caught at long on. He was quite a way in from the boundary.
Yeah, good awareness from Dungeon. You don't normally want them to be that far in,
Well,
but
it's not a long boundary,
he's
so
able to read it.
brilliant positioning. Probably helped by the fact that the under-19s are looking for two, so it has to bring the boundary fielders a bit in and a bit more aware.
Yeah. And just looking at the body language of the Tuskers, Ahmed, they seem a lot happier than after that power play. Really getting themselves back into this game, yeah.
Well, at this stage, the real pressure and the onus is on the SA under-19 batters. They actually are in a bit of danger at the moment of falling well short of where their platform and projection was 3 overs ago. You know, the squeeze that the fielding unit has put on them at the moment, and the bowling has been pretty decent and accurate.
Just really, that man Malcolm Nofel, that when he came back, bowled a really good over, and Andile has just followed that up.
Oh, he pulls out from that one. Seletswa. Saw a little bit of a glimpse of him yesterday.
How did he go?
He's quite a busy cricketer. Again, putting the ball in areas that you wouldn't expect. Looked very busy, quick between the wickets.
Has he got some of those kinky shots?
I wouldn't be surprised. It's going to be a tight one. Oh, good single. Brings us to the end of the 12th over. 90 for 3, SA under 19.
Really good over from the Tuskers there, Andile. And again, Prince 44-35. It's important how he plays from now on in. Ahmed, he's come through the power play. He's gone outside the power play. He's also seen some of his partners go post. Van Heerden.
I got a better one for you, Christo. Does he have a choice? Because if he gets dismissed now, then you've got 2 new batters in. So how does he have a choice on how he's going to play? He has to be the rock. He has to just maybe bat with the handbrakes up for a while. Right?
Yeah.
And if anyone's going to take the risk, it's got to be the newer guy.
So that's Nofel once again. Been hit down to long on. He'd be very happy with that.
The onus on Prince at the moment is that every ball he needs to get at least a single. If he can get a 2, all the better. That's it, a single down to long off. Ticking over onto 45.
Seletswane, you mentioned him yesterday. Busy player.
Very busy.
Oh, bit of turn there.
Oh, he's looking for that big gap on the leg side, which is exactly what Nofal wants you to do if you're the batter.
Massive gap there, leg side, Ahmed.
He wants you to play across the ball. Hopefully, if you miss it or leading edge or hit your pad. Like that. Oh.
He nearly called it. Commentator's curse, Ahmed.
I don't think it's a curse. You can just see it a lot easier from here. We fortunate from this bird's eye view. You can see what the plan is. You know.
Best seat in the house today.
He got. I think Prince saved him there, because if he was in the way, Nofal would have had a clear shot at catching that one. There we go. That's the 4th wicket down. Was it really needed? Prince, reverse slog, exposing all the stumps. Nofal hasn't missed that line. He's bowled 80% of the time, it's been wicket to wicket. In that situation, I'm sorry to say, the SA under 19, unless they get some really, really poor bowling at the end, are in danger of being probably under 140.
Yeah, and at one stage, Ahmed, they were looking at 180, and so it's come right down to 140. And Malcolm Nofel he's really had it on a string. He's been tight, and he's been straight at the stumps, and he's hardly given any width. Two new batters at the crease. Lots of pressure on SA under 19. They're going to have to make the play if they want to get any sort of competitive total today, yeah? Hats off to the Tuskers. They've really fought their way back into this game after the power play through this man, Malcolm Nofel.
Oh, and that's a wide. It's going straight for the pads.
That's the first wide of the innings. Can you believe it, Ahmed? John James has joined us and he's on strike.
Oh, there's still brilliant running. That's two. That brings us to the end of the 13th over. SA under 19, 96 for 4. Two new batters, Juan James and Selet Swane.
And with 7 overs left, Ahmed, this is the time where you normally want to set yourself to really launch at the back end of the innings. But SA under 19 find themselves in a pickle.
Well, they're not in position. They don't have the platform. These two have got to probably hustle for the next 2 or 3 overs as well. If we just break down how the innings been, in the power play, they were 54 without loss. And as soon as the power play went, they've lost 4 wickets for 42 runs in 7 overs. So obviously the brilliant start, just probably the inexperience and not handling the situation with losing a wicket or 2 to set them back quite a bit. But you got Tate coming back.
Again, that short ball back of the length. The youngsters haven't handled it well, Ahmed.
I'll be very surprised if he pitches anything up. Actually, if I was his captain, I'd tell him I'd be upset if he pitches anything up. Yeah. There's no reason. He's bowling at a decent pace. He can have fine leg, deep square leg, third man all back. He should be not allowed to give anything in their half.
Sounds like the old school. Nothing in your half.
There we go. That's straight to mid wicket. As I told you, nothing in your half. You make the play. And that's the 5th wicket down. South Africa under 19 crumbling. 97 for 5.
Tuskers happy. Ahmed very happy. Embracing each other, and they've really fought hard.
That's too tame a word, Christo. Jubilant. After the position that they were in.
They were under the cosh, under the pump after the first 6.
Yes, in the power play, they were really on the back foot. They fought brilliantly. Some disciplined bowling from the left arm spin of Nofal.
Yeah.
And Dile chipping in with some wickets there.
That short ball also just, it's really done the business today for the Tuskers. The clever use of the short ball and cramping the batters for room has worked today for the Tuskers.
And suddenly now, a lot more chirpier in the field.
Devan Marie joins us at centre stage. Ahmed, Tate runs in.
There we go, back of a lane, just a single, should be. Good fielding down in the deep.
Brilliant fielding, energy in the field. It's next level, Ahmed. These Tuskers guys, they sense this. Almost like they sense blood, but they sense the opportunity to be able to.
It's the favorite injection, Christo, the wicket injection.
It's nothing like a wicket.
There we go. Probably just the line is wrong. Length is perfect. Oh, keep going, Stefan. Just get the line right.
That's only the second wide of this innings, so from an extras point of view, Tuskers have been disciplined. There have been no front foot, no balls, you know, those free gifts, none of those. So that's been good to see the discipline from the Tuskers.
As I told you, you should never be allowed to pitch it up. Bunted over mid-off, that's 4.
Every ball that's been pitched up today in this innings for us under 19 has been clobbered, either straight or over extra cover.
You just feel that it's something they're not used to, you know? And a little bit confused as to why he would go so full. Had success with the back of a lane, shorter deliveries. There we go, that's direct hit and it's gone. Oh, that's gotta be. How? It must have been very close there.
No response from the square leg umpire. But that back of a length, Tate hitting the wicket hard, good to see. It's really hard to clobber that over the bowler's head. 104 for 5. Yes, under 19 will possibly be looking at something like 160, but they've got a lot of work to do. Someone will have to come in and play an absolute cameo if they want to have a competitive total. Did you see much of Murray yesterday, Ahmed?
Well, he batted for a little bit, but they were so far ahead of the game, it was just a few runs to knock it off.
Tate changing the line of attack, Ahmed. Around the
Well,
wicket.
he's got fine leg and third man up, so if he goes anything short, he'll be surprised. He goes full. And that they're looking for the 2. It's going to be a shorter throw. And, oh, my word. Well, in the foot marks there. And that's the end of the 14th over. Eventful one from Stefan Tate. 105 for 5.
Right. 6 overs left, Ahmed. That's all we've got. And at this stage, it looks like 140, 150 if they're lucky. And so they've got a lot of work to do. These 2 batters will have to really play well.
Well, I'm not too sure if they do have anyone who can hit the ball like Bose did at the lower order. They might have somebody who can strike a few, but you'd think with the quality of bowling, Stefan Tate's got 1 more over, Dudgeon's got 2. That's 3 out of the 6. So to get anything more than a run a ball, it's going to take a big ask from the under 19 boys.
Forza's back into the attack. And what's nice, he's bowling to 2 right-handers. Murray knocks it down to long and
Oh, and I think looking a good recovery there from the fielder. Lots of bobbles in this outfield. I mean, that's probably dictated by these 2 right-handers. I mean, we haven't seen an off-spinner yet. You probably would have expected if there were another left-hander somewhere, would have given the off-spinner a go.
Shot down to long off, and they go through for a single.
This field just be the single.
The line of attack from these left-arm spinners have been really good. I mean, they've given no width. They've been at the stumps. They've really asked the batters to make the play, try and hit across the line.
Well done.
Great pressure.
Working hard to save the single.
And that's been good to see from both spinners, Nofel and Forza. They've worked really hard off their own bowling.
A little advancing down the wicket. They're pushing hard for 2. Probably going to get there.
great running from this under 19 batters.
To be fair to the boundary riders, it's quite difficult when you know that the boundary is not big. You got to be on the rope to save the 4, and then the ball trickles out, and it does. I mean, you running
This is
in
the square leg umpire.
you're running in 30 meters to pick up a ball that's dribbled across 30 meters anyway. Oh, there's a chance.
That's the end of the over. A brilliant over from Forza. And at 15 overs, we're 110 for 5 as under 19. Real battle for these batters.
It's always going to be a struggle. You had 2 new batters at a stage where you needed to really look to have somebody who's in. I mean, if you were to look at the entire innings, I mean, there were a few periods of indecision, but probably Prince getting out when he did has not allowed them to kick on. You know, if he just knocked it around like he was doing for the previous 10 balls before that, would have just given a bit of an anchor and allowed the Murray or Seletswane to settle in and be aggressive, or more aggressive than they currently are. Changing his pace quite well is Alendile.
Yeah, they're scampering, they're running well, but they need to get a few boundaries, Ahmed. These singles are not going to do it. Wide called by the square leg. But it shows you once again how effective that short ball has been today to the S under 19 batters.
Oh, they're running for everything now.
Oh, that
Any bat,
tight.
any bat and ball, and they're off.
The interesting thing for me is they're setting up. If you look at their setups, Ahmed, it's all good, but no real intent to really look for the boundary. I mean, they seem to me like in the way they're setting up, they're almost looking for ones, but the game is crying out for some boundaries at this stage of the innings.
I mean, you can't be too harsh. I mean, we haven't seen much of Murray or Seletswane. Well, there's one. It's hit straight down the man's throat, and he has fumbled it, and it's 6. That's criminal. Criminal effort there on the boundary.
It's coming too far.
If he just stood half a meter in front of the rope where he should be, that would have been straight
to him. He's palmed it like a goalkeeper over the rope.
What makes it worse is that he knocks it over for 6 instead of knocking it in front. Oh, that's clipped again. There's a man there. Oh, well done. That's just a single.
Great fielding. In the deep. Murray freeing his arms.
Christo, you were crying out for some hits there. He's got a bit fortunate.
He's crying out for some boundaries there, Ahmed. But yeah, he got fortunate on the sweeper boundary. Single.
The way Dukes moved in there, I thought we had Jonty Rhodes fielding there. He was on the table.
Game tight. Cutting the angle off. 120 for 5. With 1 ball to come. Short. Clobber to a good over for the S under 19s. Obviously the boundary they got 121 for 5 after 16, Ahmed.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you got Dudgeon coming in now to close out the innings. He's got 2 overs left of his bowling spell.
121 for 5 after 16 overs.
Forza continuing.
The only thing it could be that because he's got 2 overs and they want him to bowl the last over of the innings, he'd probably have to come from the end, the doozy end. That's the end closer to us.
Ray really showing he's showing glimpses of wanting to get stuck in. He hit a nice shot that went to the super boundary. That's one.
That's wide.
Oh,
Saw him coming, threw it out wide there.
nearly a stumping chance there for the keeper, but he made a meal of it. To still be getting dots at this stage of the game that's worth gold on it.
Yeah, quite surprised they didn't run for that one. They've been so aware to anything in front of the wicket for the single. Oh, that's hammered. Loose delivery, low full toss, well put away. Well deserved boundary, over extra cover. That's what we saw glimpses of yesterday from Silet Swane. Busy, quick on his feet.
Good shot over extra cover, really good touch. It was a bad ball, but he still had to be hit, and Silet Swane hit that well. Down to long on.
Oh, they're going to push for 2. Maybe not. Oh, well fielded there at long on.
Dungeon doing some great work at long on. He's had a few seasons for the Tuskers, Dungeon, Ahmed.
He's actually was part of the Dolphins for a good few years.
Yeah.
And when the structure changed, then he moved over up the road. And he's been a fantastic performer for the Tuskers.
Once again, Mfosa stealing a dot there for his team. Clubber down to long on. Palmeret, it'll only be 1. That's the end of the over. SA under 19, 129 for 5 after 17. 3 overs to go. They'll be looking for 150 at this stage. And the Tuskers will be happy to chase anything, Ahmed.
Well, to be fair,
150 Tuskers, they'll be
Christoph,
happy.
anything from yesterday we saw, okay, this pitch looks a little bit uneven, but anything under 150, 160 was easily chased. Both teams won with a bonus point. That tells you the afternoon Tuskers chased 153. In the morning, the SA under 19 cruised home to 144. So there's a lot of runs to be had in the wicket. It's just a matter of the batters batting first, or the team batting first, knowing how to go about setting a total. Seems that we're very comfortable, every team thus far, in chasing a total, because they know how hard to go, when to be aggressive. You know, and that's the difficulty with batting first. What is an acceptable total?
Yeah.
How do we structure the innings to make sure we have the platform and don't lose wickets in clusters? I mean, these two have shown sensible batting, and they managed to get to a partnership of 30 plus, and they're setting a platform. If they have a good last 3 overs, they could also get up to 160.
That's right. And all it takes, Ahmed, is 1 over of 20, and it can easily happen in T20 cricket. You can actually get 20 runs in an over.
Yesterday we had an over with first 4 balls, we had 24. There were 4 sixes in a row. So
Yeah.
again, it's just a matter of identifying the periods in the game. I mean, the dismissal of Prince probably really set them back. He
Yeah.
was batting beautifully on 44.
Dungeon has been so good in this over. His ability to bowl the Yorker. He's showing his experience here, Ahmed.
Well, not only is Yorker, he has the control more often than not on the line of what he wants to bowl, whether he wants to bowl it at the stump or just outside. The bowlers have to be so skilled these days with the ability of batters scoring at the depth of where to pitch their Yorker. Oh, that's well squeezed out. Running, pushing for 2, comfortably home.
Good batting. Nice little partnership developing at the back end here.
You can just see Dudgeon understands that he doesn't want to go too straight to Murray. He saw that if he misses his length, Murray has got the power to clear the ropes. So he's just persisting with a line outside of stump.
Mike Erlang get extra cover, doing great work, the skipper. Only 1 run. What has been interesting, I see even the guy mid wicket now on the boundary. How far they're in, Ahmed?
But again, you got to think to yourself: is he there to save the 2, or is his first priority is to save the boundary? It's not that big a hit either way.
If you're asking me, I want him on the boundary.
And that's what he's bowled. He's went for the lap, missed it completely. The ball cannons into the stump and then just plops next to it.
That over has only gone for 4. Dungeon. Top class execution from the young man.
That takes us to the end of the 18th over. 2 overs left. SA under 19 at 134 for 6.
Tuskers, jubilant, happy. They've really fought back nicely. It was all advantage SA under 19 in the power play, Ahmed. After that, it's been Tuskers, Tuskers, Tuskers. Stefan Tate bowling the penultimate. Murray 19 of 16. He'll be looking to get stuck in this over and get his team to 150 and more.
Oh, that's well hit. There's a fielder there, no run.
Dot, can you believe it?
Just hit it too well. 2
Left-
meters
left or right of him is 4.
2 meters either side.
So he has timed the ball. He has timed the ball well. Murray has shown that he's got the ability to strike it. He's looked balanced and yeah.
That's short, the top edge. Is a man underneath it? Yes, he. Oh, that's just out of him. Spun away and they run well for 2. At this level, you'd expect that to be taken. He was on the edge. If you look at him, he just had 3 meters to backpedal.
That short ball seems to sit in the wicket like it pops.
It's definitely too paced with that dryness that you highlighted, as well as the patches of grass. Oh, that's again outside edge. Same fielder. And they get through for 2.
2 runs.
The ball's following him.
Look at his body language saying, what's going on? I mean, he's putting his hands on hips and saying, what is going on? I've just dropped one. It's been squirted again over my head. The game's trying to teach him something. You gotta want the ball to come to you, brother.
That looks like, is that Kurt? Is Kurt hiding it? Kurt Manicum at point. It's hugging the wide call there. benefit of the doubt to the bowler. You don't mind that.
You got lucky there, Ahmed. That was
Probably
a tight,
passed with the
tight
angle.
call.
It passed in on that red line.
Tight call.
A batter should feel that he missed out because he had width on that one.
With an offer.
Beat him on the inside. That's a short one. That's club. It could be straight to long off. Wow.
Right in. It's the short ball. Again, ladies and gentlemen, wicket time on this pitch.
He hit that really well. But cheapest to hit a short ball like that, a tennis overhead smash.
Incredible hands.
To
from
long
Malaya,
off.
It's cost him. And they lose another wicket as under 19s.
138 for 7, and we almost at the completion of the 19th over.
A brilliant catch taken in the deep at long off by Malcolm Nofel. Two new batters at the crease, Ahmed, and they don't have a lot of, very few balls left.
Oh. He's into his last ball of the over, so 7 balls left. What can they scrape together? I would love it if they can get 12 runs just to take them to that 150. Again, well hit, low full toss, just a single to finish over number 19.
Really good over from Stefan Tate. And he's been good today for the Tuskers.
Yeah, it was excellent. Yesterday he picked up 2 wickets. Today he's picked up another 2.
So important that your big players in the big games, Ahmed, put their hands up, and Stefan Tate has done that for his team today. Him and Keith Dungeon. 139 for 7, 19 overs. 1 more to go. Some family supporting their kids as well, Ahmed. Good to see.
Yeah, it's a beautiful setting at the Masbrook. Over lots of banks, lots of trees. The weather's beautiful today. Not as hot as it can get here in January and February. It's a beautiful day to be sitting and watching cricket, T20 cricket.
Families have brought out their picnic baskets. Seeing a number of them. Cooler boxes.
I wouldn't be surprised later on in the afternoon you get the braai smell up here.
Hopefully they'll bring some up here for us. Keith Dungeon to close off this innings with the last over.
Oh, and they're running a by comfortably. Is it going to be called a wide, or did it pass through between his legs? No, just a by. That takes the SA under 19 to 140. 140 for 7.
Bayomi facing his first ball.
Oh, in the block hole. Brilliant execution here from Keith Dudgeon.
Keith Dudgeon has been so good for the Tuskers. He looks really comfortable in knowing where he's going to deliver the ball, where he wants it. He's shown in the previous over, 4th stump Yorker. He's bowled the leg stump Yorker.
Christo, what's been so impressive is he's been control. With the new ball, he seemed to have a bit of shape away, and as soon as he's come back for the death, he's just had that tail into the stumps, and that's a low full toss, hit high in there. There's a man underneath it. No, as we pointed out an over or two before, is he really meant to be off the boundary? It's the last over of the innings.
Ahmed is way too far in. When the ball bounces over your head, bounces twice inside the rope, you know You're too far in.
That's
The
fourth.
aim of the boundary fielder is to be on the boundary rope, ladies and gentlemen.
You
he
understand the
just-
situation of the game, but here you got to know you're in the last over. Boundary is what you need to save. Stay, hug the rope.
Give them 2, but not 4.
What a fortunate escape there for Bayumi. Oh, and that's full again. Well hit. Are they going to turn for 2? Comfortably home.
2 it is. Good running. Margins are small. 146 for 7. It looks like that 150 is within sight. Now for the under-19 team. Keith Dudgeon's saying stay on the rope and stay on the rope. I can hear him from here.
Walk in onto the rope. Oh, that's hit again. Are they going to... You know...
Could be a run out.
Oh,
Just a bounce of the ball. Andile threw it almost too full for Keith Dudgeon. And those-
Christo, just for curiosity's sake and interest, we got to watch the non-striker, yeah. I think this is where the run-outs become a problem.
no need to warn anymore.
Yeah, we know that, but I think this is where the entire thing starts. Gotta watch. He's gone.
He's gone.
That's hit down to the boundary. Is he going to stop it this time? There's 2 of them there. Yes, he's back for 2. That's the number you're looking for, 150.
150 SA under 19. The Tuskers would be the happier of the 2 teams. SA under 19 got off to a fly in the power play. And after that, with no real momentum, they couldn't really finish the innings. 1 or 2 batters tried, Ahmed, but
That's the whole point of it, the whole thing. I mean, they were in such a dominant position, but you look at the score, they made 150, you still feel that they're maybe 20-25 runs short. So it just depends how they come out into the field. And if we go through the scorecard quickly, a brilliant opening partnership of 50, Herman and Prince with 26 and 45 respectively.
yeah, I mean, the power play was outstanding. And then from there, as we've highlighted, you look at Bosti came in and he hit some really good shots, but didn't stay long. And Seletswane came in, and obviously Devon Murray and the rest of the men at the bottom order. But 150, I think the Tuskers, Ahmed, if you're asking me, they would be happy of the 2 teams to chase 150. And yeah, that's the S under 19, 150. And we will see you after the innings break.
Welcome back to the Pietermaritzburg Oval for the second half of the first game in the CSA Division 2 T20 knockout tournament. And the Tuskers are chasing 151. Probably feel that it's a bit short from the position the SA U19 batters got them into, but they've got all to play for, because no doubt the winner of this game will be undefeated so far and virtually guaranteed a spot in the knockout in the semi-final. So all to play for both teams. One change from yesterday for the Tuskers. Jonathan Vandia has been replaced by Kumalo, also left-handed, aggressive. Played SA Under-19 just a few years ago. Moved here from the Dolphins to continue his professional cricket career. Christo?
Apiwe Mnyanda, the left-arm seamer, opens the bowling for SA Under-19. Short. He's been pulled through mid-wicket by Mike Erlang. Mere formality. A mere formality. Ahmed. First ball, loosener from Apiwe Mnyanda, who hails from Port Elizabeth, Zwide. And he'll have to shape up quickly. Tuskers capped it all over him.
Well, it's a very innocuous first delivery. He's going to have to sharpen up a bit. The SA Under-19 guys need some wickets. There is a bit of shape. Let's see if we can exploit it.
Having slight trouble with his run up there, Piwe. Mike Erland has made the move from Bloemfontein, Ahmed. He played a lot of cricket for Free State, and he's now with the Tuskers. Good to see him leading the troops. Much better second delivery from Apiwe Mnyanda, and he is almost adopting that strategy that Stefan Tate did of hitting the wicket hard. A much better second delivery from the young man.
Well, you've seen the rewards with not being full. A bit of variable bounce, two-pace pitch, a lot more chance of forcing an error if you a little bit short of a length there.
Nice swing there from Nyanda, and Erlang scampers through it into the covers and scampers through for one.
Just going back to Erlang, he's been a revelation here at the Tuskers, no doubt. He's originally played at Free State, then he moved to Durban. He played in the Dolphins Coastal first class team, and then when the restructure he moved up to Maritzburg. Fantastic cricketer. He was player of the one-day competition around the country last year. Big appeal, batter showing his chest guard or clipping his shirt, hints of maybe a glove.
That ball seemed to take off of a length there, Ahmed. Again, that's sort of the back of a length, and perhaps Apiwe Mnyanda getting into his stride now and a little bit looser.
Yeah, well, he does have got to take a bit of risk and reward with that length. There's a chance of you being cut or pulled, but if you got protection, like that, inside edge, similar length,
Grab the batter.
That gets Kumalo off the mark. The scorebook doesn't show how they come.
4 runs. That's all the scorebook says, Ahmed. Fantastic. A bit of zip from Nyanda, the young man.
Ideally, the SA Under-19 are going to need some wickets in the power play. They're probably 2 as a minimum to give themselves a chance.
There's that back of a length again, dot, squirted out to point. That's the end of the over.
Tuskers off to a tidy start in terms of the score, 9 for no loss after 1. What you know you're going to get is some top fielding from the SA Under-19. We've seen it every year, even in the World Cup. The fielding is brilliant, ground fielding, catching. In saying that, they've got to make sure that they're ready. There will be a few half chances along the way. They're going to be able to grab them to put the AET Tuskers under some pressure with the bat. the only way to defend 150 is to get some wickets. And here we go, Matthew Boast, formerly from Hilton College, around the corner.
Big boy, eh, Ahmed?
Short, wide, clubbed over point. As I said, that's the length to bowl, but if there's a bit of width, risk and reward.
Yeah, Boast. Look at the replay, comes in and width offered, and Erlang all over it. Like a rash, and he's clubbed it for a boundary. It's under 19. They'll be desperate for wickets in the first 6. Exert some sort of pressure on this Tuskers team. Both that time around a lot tighter in terms of line, and yeah, you don't really want to be offering these left-handers too much width. They thrive on that. Khumalo, did he open the batting yesterday, Ahmed?
No, yesterday Erlang and Jonathan Vandia opened.
Yeah.
That's been the only change for the AET Tuskers. That's a big hit. Cross the line. I think that the batters are going to send a message to these SA19 bowlers that they want to get this power play off to a rollicking start.
Only 2 men out, and so a prime. Talk about prime time. This is the prime time to be out there in the middle. Ahmed, hard ball, new ball, field is up.
Boast has shown that it does have a bit of pace behind it. Not so much, we haven't seen much movement from his deliveries. Oh,
He's really generating. He's starting to generate. It's good to see the sort of pace from the young man. And if you combine his batting with his bowling, Ahmed, looks a really good prospect.
yeah, he's definitely got a bright future ahead of him. I mean, if he can run in and bowl with the new ball or first change, he'd be a quite effective all-rounder. Maybe even batting lower down than he does for the under-19s. I mean, we've seen his ball striking. I mean,
Clean.
short, pulled away. Sharp fielding there at mid-wicket. Erlang is comfortable on the back foot. He's probably years of opening the batting at Free State, at the Dolphins.
Yeah.
If you're not comfortable playing off the back foot, it's not going to last as long as he has.
In Bloom, the air is thinner and the wickets bounce higher.
Clean striker of the ball. He played some fantastic shots yesterday down the ground.
Really good bowling from Boast, Ahmed.
Yeah, he's persisted with the back of the length. He's kept it in his half. I mean, the challenger for the SA Under-19 is going to be, once the new ball bowlers are to be changed. Liam Elder bowled really well yesterday, a left arm spin. The only difference is today he's going to be coming up against 2 left-handers if they don't get any wickets,
Yeah.
which
Make for a good tussle and a good battle. Nyanda getting ready for his second over. Really tight. Interesting to see them carrying a slip.
well, it's exciting to see because they need wickets. So if you're going to bowl a decent delivery and there's going to be a mistake, you're going to find the outside edge, you want to have a catcher in place.
As we speak, as we speak, they've moved the slip
Murphy's Law, what's going to happen is the outside edge.
down to third man.
That's short, pulled away, not hit well enough. There's a man there. Well short. Khumalo probably fortunate he didn't time it as well as he would like. Any more bat on that would probably been down the deep square leg's throat.
You mentioned earlier on, Ahmed, Ahmed, when Murray got out, that he hit it too well. And that time around, Badder
You always feel that
holding his
maybe
breath.
with the deep square, why not just help the ball around the corner instead of. That's high in there!
Oh, it's gone really
Probably
high,
going to be
Ahmed.
safe. There's a man underneath it. Oh, what a brilliant
Oh, that
catch!
catch!
That's been the catch of the tournament so far. He's covered almost 15 to 20 meters to get underneath that one. It hung in the air a long time, Christo.
Fantastic catch by the young man, and look at the energy from the rest of his teammates.
I heard you-
Catches win matches.
But I heard you say that lucky him, not you.
Rather him than me, Ahmed.
Me as well. That was a fantastic catch. When you're in practice with and you're having a fielding session, those are the ones you call a helicopter catch because it was spinning him around. Brilliant to keep his eye on the ball as well as he did.
What a catch.
Fantastic. And that sees the end of Michael Erlang. Again, just going across the line, maybe a bit too much. If he stood taller, he could have probably hit it through the offside with in his strength of the back foot. But in walks the hero from yesterday and the magnificent bowling effort, Andile Mohakane, coming in at number 3.
I really enjoyed his energy earlier on, Ahmed, when he bowled. He really looked like he was enjoying his bowling. He got the critical breakthrough of getting Boast out, and I look forward to seeing him bat today. Obviously would be confident from yesterday's innings.
Yeah, naturally yesterday quite aggressive from ball one, looking to play his strokes. One thing he does do is against the spinners he fancies a sweep. He sweeps really well. It will be interesting when the spinner comes on if he's still in. But before he gets there, it's 14 for 1 in the third over. CSA under 19 getting the breakthrough that they so desperately needed.
Nyanda tidy. Mohakane, is he a local boy, Ahmed?
He was also one of those from the Dolphins. Came through from the school ranks in Durban. Was part of the Dolphin setup for a year, maybe 2, and moved up to Pietermaritzburg when the structure changed. A lot more opportunities for him to play first class here in Maritzburg.
I think that's what every cricketer wants, Ahmed, is an opportunity to showcase and play rather than sit on the side.
Well, he's immensely talented. You've seen with he bowls, he bats, a good fielder, good athlete. I'm sure at this stage all he needs and is working towards is a bit more consistency. Consistently putting performances with the bat, and definitely comes across the kind of player that if he's going well, then both disciplines work hand in hand. If he's scoring runs, you'll see him chip in with the ball and vice versa. So a very integral part of this AET Tuskers unit.
Nande runs in. Just that unevenness in the wicket, the slowness. Yeah, that's the end of the over. 14 for 1, the Tuskers. This power play is going to be critical, Ahmed.
Yeah,
What's left of it?
you just think that the Tuskers, no matter what, they just don't want too much damage in the the power play. They've lost 1 wicket. They're probably 3 overs left in this power play. If they can get maybe another 30 runs for the loss of 1 more wicket, they'd be happy. 44 for 2 after 6. The platform is there.
Absolutely, you would take that.
Anything more or anything less would be advantage to the under 19 team.
Both starts his second over to Komalo.
Persisting with the short ball, Kumala probably missed out there. No protection on the offside boundary. Any meaningful bet on that was 4.
The left-hander's bread and butter. Ahmed, and he's just missed it. If Boast is going to continue with that, persist with that line, Komalo can really take him to the cleanest. No protection on the offside boundary.
If anything, you'd think Bose is going to try to get wicket to wicket on that line, so he pulls him to deep square leg. That's short, wide. Oh, that's over point. As you said, any meaningful bat, and that's 4.
Oh, 4. Third man scampering down there, but it's 4. And Bose will have to, as you've highlighted, Ahmed, will have to be tight on off stump. He's going to have to bowl tighter with.
Well, you want the Khumalo to be trying to pull the ball with deep square leg back. So nothing wrong with the length. He's just got to make sure that there's no width on offers, because you know the Khumalo is going to throw his hands at it.
The kitchen sink.
Oh, that's close. That could be out. Extremely fortunate. Did he get a bat on that one? Yes, inside edge. Saved him.
Really good delivery from Bose. Tight, Ahmed, tight, no width on offer. And Khumalo having to manufacture, and he's gone across it.
Yeah, surprised him because it went fuller. He wasn't expecting Bose to come as full as that. The clouds seem to be hanging around.
It's a beautiful day at the Pietermaritzburg Oval for cricket. Mahakane on strike, he faces up to Bose.
Short, wide.
Ball. An inquiry from some men in the field. Square leg indicating 1 for the over.
That's good pace from Bose. Really making it, showing the intentions out here.
It's good to see the young bowlers learning from the Tuskers innings, and they use the short ball extensively, and just the ability to pick up on that energy is really.
And the advantage is that Bose has got the pace to do it consistently, so it'll be interesting to see. There we go, short and wide. And delay advancing down, trying to put the pressure on the bowlers.
What a good over from Bose.
That's the end of the 4th. Tuskers sitting precariously now in the power play at 19 for 1.
2 overs to go. Something's got to give, Ahmed.
I wouldn't be panicking too much if I was in the Tuskers change room. They bat very deep. Apologies for that. One more ball. Umpire sold us a dummy. A dummy pass. That's the outside edge. It's flying to third man. It's gone.
Oh, wicket.
It was inevitable. Inevitable. SA under 19 jubilant, celebrating that 19 for 2 at the end of the 4th. Fantastic start from the under 19 boys, showing real aggression with the ball, backed up with some excellent fielding and good catching.
The catching has been good. You mentioned earlier on, Ahmed, that's sort of what we can expect from this under 19 team, and that's always been the South African standard. Fielding has always been the differentiator in terms of our teams, and it's good to see these youngsters. But the bowler Bose really making a massive impact in that over. He was aggressive. He's bowling quickly.
Well, all lots of work for the Tuskers now. In walks Malcolm Nofel, also half centurion from yesterday, batted superbly well along with Andile. I mean, you know, he's been around the block. He's nearing the batter's prime age of 28, 27, 28. They're going to need to muster all the experience and skill. They're going to need a partnership now.
That's the key word, Ahmed. Partnership.
The one thing the Tuskers do have in their favor, they do bat quite deep. If you've got Dudgeon batting at 8, 9, Sletwa, Alindile also pretty much an all-rounder, also batting in that territory. But you got to get the scoreboard moving, because we've seen that against decent pace on this wicket, Oh, that's well timed.
It's a quality stroke from Kumalo. And again, the pressure in the field, these S-19 guys, they are energized, they look sharp, they're going to put their bodies out there. They're really going to dive around in this beautiful Maritzburg Oval.
Not only that, Chris, it looks like they've done their homework a bit on Kumalo. You see the two fielders, one is just in front of square on the offside, and the other one is quite deep. Oh, that's well hit again. Looking for little fumble, safely home.
Yeah.
Good urgency from Kumalo. We didn't see that yesterday with the Tuskers batting. Obviously, different type and style of batters if you compare Kumalo and Vandia. But you are getting the urgency with the Kumalo between wickets.
Yeah, John Vandia, a very talented cricketer, Ahmed. Met him a couple of years back, and it's good to see him still involved in the game.
That is a fantastic.
Very
Every year he
talented.
turns out tons of runs. He's playing at the Northern Cape previously.
Yeah.
One of their stalwarts in their 4-day campaign where they won the trophy. Beautifully played through mid-wicket. That's running away. Well fielded again on the boundary, just keeping it down to 2. There's no doubt that's the difference in the running with the under-19 players. There was a lot more fluid between the stumps running.
Yeah, it looked to me like there was a possibility of 3 there. Well timed by Nofel, but they're just not running that first one hard enough. And they only got 2.
Well played, open the face on that one, down to third man. Comfortable single.
It's been a good tussle between bat and ball in this power play, Ahmed. Unassuming Apiwe Mnyanda's just getting on with his business, and the big man, Boast, looking to boost his team. Nice contrast, a left arm swing ball and a big right arm banging it into the wicket.
Short wide cut, that's for.
What a beautiful touch from Kumalo.
Yeah, but that's the area, just a little bit of width. Very strong square on the offside. He's actually a fantastic 1-day and limited over batsman, because he gets into good positions, able to score square of the wicket, more so on the offside than the leg side. Very aggressive. It'll be nice for him to get some runs on the board here. Keep playing good cricket shots. That's the outside edge, running away.
They'll be pushing for 2.
Again, well run. Brilliant stuff there from Kumalo.
Kumalo injecting some energy into this Tuskers innings, Ahmed. Good to see him running well and hitting some really good cricket shots.
Yeah, and that brings us to the end of the 5th over. Excellent start from the SA19 team. Tuskers, AET Tuskers on 29 for 2. Looks like they're being aggressive, so they decide that they want one more wicket, giving Boast another over. That's the aggressiveness we spoke about. They know that they've got to get wickets to have any real chance of defending this total.
Yeah, there's nothing like a wicket that can stop the flow of runs.
Yeah, and the way Boast is bowling, I would think that you would think of maybe a catcher behind the stumps, maybe a second slip or something.
Someone hanging there, hovering. He's really bowling quickly, Ahmed.
Yeah, even if it's not just a slip, you see anything that length, the guys are throwing their hands at it. So maybe even a deep gully, or you just feel that if there is going to be an edge, it's going to fly through there.
And you mentioned earlier on with Kumalo how S-19 had done their work. They sort of had a deep point to close up that scoring shot. And with this sort of pace, both running across the left-handers, a deep gully could be just what the doctor has ordered. Two dots in the power play, it's worth gold.
What you don't want here is for the horse to bolt before you put the slip in. We saw the previous over, Kumalo edging one in that area.
Yeah. Nofel under pressure. These dots. Not good. He should at least be ticking it over with singles. But Boast, all eyes on him.
Ah, that's well hit.
Oh, what a
Brilliant
stop.
fielding
Oh,
again. Saved a certain 4.
George van Heerden. What a hand. What a hand. That was well on its way, Ahmed. This under 19 sensing an opportunity here. Ahmed, if they can just get one more wicket.
Well,
in
they're
this
searching
power
for
play.
it. One more.
Yeah, hello. Yeah. Good, how are you?
Skipper George van Heerden moving those men at point a little bit more around.
Yeah.
Short. That's wide. Khumalo not trying to take it on either.
Khumalo, he wants to be in the battle, Ahmed. He wants this pressure. I sense he wants to be that guy for his team. He realizes there's only a few more deliveries left of this power play and he wants to maximize it.
Yo.
Oh, that's also no ball. Criminal.
Criminal.
Just offering up a free hit now. Where does Khumalo look?
See, the problem is crazy. I can't help you until for another hour.
If you look at the field, interesting, Ahmed. They've actually got a
Deep point and a
point,
third
yeah,
man.
Third man.
Oh, they said we know that that's the strength of Khumalo.
Yeah. Bowler can't change the field.
Does he look to go across the stumps and try to get on the leg side?
You just
Or does he trust himself to hit it
if the plug is
through the offside for 4?
The bowler will be looking wide Yorker with this field. What stump Yorker?
Oh, that's
Oh,
another
he's
swing and a miss.
Completely missed it.
It
Length delivery, Ahmed. Can you believe it? In the slot.
Wasn't as devastating as the Tuskers would have needed. Again, 32 for 2. To be fair, from the Tuskers' point of view, I'd be happy just to be 33, 34 after the power play, no more loss. Rather than searching for the extra boundary and losing a wicket in the last 2 balls of the power play. That's a short and there's a man there. No, it's too fine. Just a single.
Love the aggression of Boast. He's running, he's hit the wicket hard. And that's really helped his team, especially in this power play. What will Nofel be looking to do? One ball left of this power play. And you made a good point. You don't really want to be losing any more wickets in this power play.
Well, you'd rather be 33 for 2 than 34. I mean, there's not much difference. Even if he gets a boundary, it's only 37, you know. Change in the field, different strengths for Nofel. Probably going to go short at the body if he can. And he goes full, that's punted away for a single.
Good stop at mid-off, and they've gone through for a single.
That brings the end to the power play. Well done from the SA under-19 bowling unit. Both opening bowlers bowled 3 overs each. Brilliant figures. A wicket apiece, leaving the Tuskers at 34 for 2 after the power play.
Yeah, Matthew Boast 3 overs. I made 1 for 14, an economy of 4.67, and Mnyanda 3 overs, 1 for 16. Looks like Mnyanda will also finish his 4 overs. But a good start by the SA under-19s. 34 for 2 after 6. Tuskers need a partnership and looking to Nofel and Khumalo to get them closer to that total.
Well, what's going to be interesting to see is that at this stage, are the under-19 Is the captain going to keep a bit of extra fielder in the ring for a bit of pressure?
Yeah.
Or is he going to be standard with 4 in the ring? I don't see the point in having short fine leg if you don't need him there. Yeah, there we go. He puts him back. So he's sticking to 4 in the ring, trusting the bowlers to maybe find a dot or 2 in between.
Yeah, very interesting.
But sure, that's hammered, that's 4.
And Ahmed, if you look at the field, it's said he's got long off, sort of long on back. Oh, it's just
Well, it's a poor
Off track.
delivery from
Off
Nyanda.
track.
At
Off
his
track.
pace, I mean, he was bowling so well in the power play with the fielders in. Foolish length, top of the stumps. It created a lot of problems for Kumalo.
yeah, he did. Third man sweeper. Skipper's asking him to keep it outside off stump. He's got a bit of protection on the deep square boundary.
Short wide edge, that's running away. It's 4 more, back to back. Pressure getting released.
Advantage Tuskers, 2 fours back to back. And no full. Throws hands and down to the third man area, boundary for 4.
All you want from Nyanda here is just to make sure that he continues bowling stump to stump on a full length. Right? He's got the field back for the protection.
Absolutely.
There's enough in the pitch. The ball is relatively still new. A short and there's uneven bounce to throw in. What he needs to do is make sure that the ball there's no width.
Yeah, batters today have been really clinical on anything, Ahmed, anything with, and they've thrown their hands and they've hit the ball so hard, and so tighter line is needed.
Short
And
wide,
go
that's 4
for
more.
4.
1 over too many. Captain will be pulling his hair out. It's gone for 12 in 4 balls. 1 over too many maybe.
Wide width off a no full, embracing the width, slapping it behind point.
That's just kick-started the Tuskers since the power play has been over. Released a lot of pressure that they might have been feeling. Now he's got
Split field.
this field is just set for bad bowling, to be fair.
I mean,
And you've got a fine third man, a deep third man, a
Sweet.
point on the boundary. That's 3 fielders
what a weird field.
in not even a quarter of the field.
You got extra cover in the middle, and there's nobody at backward point in the ring.
Damage limitation at this stage. And he's bowling, well, it
Wider.
forces him to bowl wider and wider because the protection is only in one part of the field. So let's go back to basics sometimes. Yes, you got hit for a few boundaries, but you still got to complete and fight for your over. Murphy's low, he'll just bowl a straight ball and hit top of off, and that'll be it. Oh, that's 4 more. No one there in front of square. Everyone's there at the back.
It's just a poor field. Almost better to have point up, mid off back, and let him bowl full.
Well,
and
not only that, just have an orthodox feel and ask the bowler. Yes, if you didn't execute it, you didn't execute the plan. The plan is to bowl in a certain area. If you don't execute it, you expect to get punished. One thing you do know that you cannot set fields for bad bowling because batters are good enough these days that to hit the ball, a poor delivery in different areas. So a bad ball becomes a scoring area on both sides of the wicket. Well, here we go.
A release of pressure from a PM Nyanda and spin.
It's a 50 up for the AET Tuskers, 52 for 2 after 7. Introduction of some spin. You got Juan James, the off spinner. You would definitely fancy the off spinner for the 2 left-handers batting.
Good strategy from the skipper, the ball spinning away.
Well played. No foul, showing his experience there. Having a look, knocking it down to long on.
Yeah,
This is going to be the test for Khumalo. Generally, much more comfortable against the seamers. Oh, that's going to run away. Probably 2. Depends if he's coming back. No, he's not. Thought about the third, but the ball was on its way. As I said, Khumalo over these years has always opened the batting, so used to facing seam up front.
So James going right
Oh.
at the stumps, Ahmed. It's that tight line again. Nofel bowled that same line earlier on in the SA Under-19 innings. The spinners are saying to the batters, we're going at the stumps. If you go across the line, we'll get you. Really good work from Nofel, just rotating, showing all his experience.
Well, what you're going to see here is maybe the difference in the approach between the Tuskers and the under-19s. If the power play is over, is that with a bit more experience, they might just be happy with knocking the singles around again. We can only assume these things, but you'd think that they would just be happy to knock it around 6, 7 and over for the next 2 or 3. Take the sting out of the bowling attack now.
Yeah.
Because if they do that, it's the end of the 8th over. 58 for 2, or 59 for 2, sorry.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier on also, Ahmed, that Tuskers bat a long way down, and so these batters will be looking to set a platform, continue to rotate, build it up, and then bring some of those bigger hitters in later to get them over the line.
Well, if they go around a ball and they'll be at the halfway stage just on 72, 73, if they're there and thereabouts, and that just leaves them almost with less than 80 runs to get, with 8 wickets in hand and 10 overs. You definitely fancy that, with the main bowlers being boast or only got one over left in his spell. There's another spinner's in the attack.
Liam Alder, left arm spinner. Nicely played by Nofel again. Just happy to take the ones. And, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're just going to be happy to take the sting out of the bowling. You know, they got a few wickets there. Let's just take the sting out for a few overs, knock it around. Because the longer the partnership goes, the more desperate the SA Under-19 team is going to be to get a wicket. And once you try to get wickets, you can easily bowl a few more loose deliveries. But Elder bowled very well yesterday. He was the mainstay in the middle of the innings. They kept the scoring in check, didn't let the Eastern Storm batters get away with anything. It was highly impressive.
Yeah, he bowls it quickly, Ahmed, and straight. Down to long on for 1. The wind seemed to have picked up at Maritzburg Oval. Bit of a breeze. We're not complaining.
Oh.
Yeah, James, he seems to be battling a little bit against James. I mean,
Well, he generally battles against slower bowling in rotating this one. Yes, he can play the odd reverse sweep and stuff, but in terms of knocking like that, you see, he looks at a release stroke once he gets bogged down a bit. Whereas if you compare him to Nofel barely off the spinners here. That takes us to the halfway stage. 70 for 2. Another 81 needed. We've got a game on our hands for sure. I wouldn't be too surprised if Grant Morgan there. He's got some guys who can hit the ball out the park. I mean, Dudgeon is a clean striker. Dukes on his day, if he gets going, he can clear the boundary. So If anything, I wouldn't be hesitant to send one of them in if a wicket falls. So you're prepared to risk getting 20 of 7 balls. It just will ease the game.
Yeah, good point. Having coached against Grant Morgan a few times, I mean, he used to use that probably cricket, where he would actually send a batter in, power nipper, and use him as that sacrificial lamb. He would just come in and just start pinging it, and yeah. Alder. It's a valuable dot for the S under 19s. Just a rotation from Kamal and not too many dots. Just got to keep ticking it over.
Has 2 dots now.
Reverse sweep coming.
Oh, a big shot.
Reverse sweep coming. Switch hit.
That's well. So I mean, that's what you want as a bowler. You're happy to get your 2 dots, just fire one in, give him a strike, get him the single, no boundary.
Alder looks composed. His line is good. Ahmed.
Yeah, he just bowls a quickish pace.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too late. Interesting who's going to bowl the last over. Oh, and he's got some bat that's just going to be a... Okay, are they pushing for 2? Yes, they are. It's going to be close.
He's got to dive in, surely.
Oh, he's comfortably home. Good running. 18 of 6.
18 of 6. They'll have to target the first 3 balls of this over to really get some boundaries to get close here.
Okay.
Steph Tate, who's bowling the last over.
Nerves of Steve Bayumi, cutters.
Bayumi, the off cutter. Fuller rather than shorter.
Is he fancying bowling to the left-hander more or the right-hander?
He wants the lefty.
Lefty.
He wants the lefty.
Bowl it into the pitch.
He wants the left-hander. Tate will be looking to the pylon. Wide, long on.
I think he's only got one way. If it's going to be into the pitch, he's going to go across the line. There's no,
the pylon.
There's no way else. His safest bet, hit high into the tree. You get the 4. No catch.
4.
No catch.
He
4.
doesn't want to hit the tree. He needs a 6. Around the wicket. Tate swipes.
He's looking for 2. They should be touch and go. Yeah. It's going to be close.
Tate.
Oh,
Oh, the big man. Needs to drop the handbrake there.
I don't want to pull some hamstring
Needs
because
to
they're
drop-
going to need him for the next game. It's going to be all to play for tomorrow. Whoever loses this match.
16 of 5, Ahmed. Oof. They definitely need a boundary. They need
3 boundaries.
boundary.
That's high. No, it is a man there.
Too high up. Man's under it.
It's that wind again. Oh, that's the end of Tate.
George van Heerden takes the catch.
Fantastic,
Long on.
fantastic. What holding his nerve under that one.
If you look at that catch, Ahmed, how the wind just holds it.
It came
the
straight
wind
down.
is holding it for him to set and then take it. Hit downwind, boys.
Well, they had no choice. It's the last over there.
Gotta
Christo.
go.
In walks Forza to round up the innings here.
It's under 19
Tuskers.
has shown big fight.
They faltered tremendously. 135 for 9. Chasing 151 to win. So really, and what a wonderful rule for the bowling team nowadays, that even if you get caught, the new batter has to face. No more you hit it up in the air and then change strike.
New batter straight into the kitchen. 16.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Christo. This game is over.
You know the
Bayumi's really got to bowl some terrible deliveries to give them a chance. Otherwise, all he needs to do is land it. They need a boundary every ball, unless, and hitting into the wind, the chance of getting a 6 is, we've seen already
really difficult.
2 batters perish, taking on the wind and the boundaries. So anything other than 4 here, it's game done and dusted.
Bayumi.
And that's it. Has he got the edge? And he's run out. What a comedy of errors.
He's run out.
Comedy. Either he was caught.
Caught behind.
Caught.
Or run out.
He went waltzing there.
Great fight shown by
What
the
a comeback.
under-19s. Wow.
That would do their confidence the world of good. To be able to pull off and fight back from that position with a subpar score. The bowling effort, the fielding was phenomenal, out of this world. It all started with that first catch, the first wicket that set the standard. What brilliant effort from the under-19 team.
Fantastic.
Well done. Hats off to the Shukri Conrad and his team. They really gelled these boys together. The best from South Africa at under-19 level, really showing some fight. I mean, the Tuskers are no mean walkover team. They were the champs in the 50 over last year. They're fighting hard for promotion for Division 1 this year. They've got a fantastic bunch of all-rounders and batters, but hats off to the under-19s. Christo, that's what you want to see.
Hey, the young men showed a lot of fight, Ahmed, today, and also receiving some applause from their supporters, the parents. But what an interesting game of cricket. I want to highlight Noful, how he hit the ball, played beautifully. Just such a pity he couldn't get his team over the line.
Well, he lacked a bit of support. I mean, apart from that partnership with Kumalo, where they had to start on the back foot being 19 for 2, that was a fantastic partnership to bring the Tuskers to a position where they just needed another bit of support.
Yeah.
I mean, the bowling from the under-19s was pretty steady, not out of this world.
Sure.
Bose has been the standout with his aggression. I mean, he looked like the difference maker in getting the wickets. The rest supported him very well.
Yeah.
But maybe the Tuskers can go back to the drawing board and say, you know what, they just needed to find another partnership along the way, right? To support Noful. I mean, Malcolm, he looked like when he needed a boundary, he knew exactly to find it.
Absolutely.
He just needed that little bit of support when he was rotating the strike to keep building the momentum.
Good. Yeah, we take nothing away from this under-19s. Good fight. They have won the game against the Tuskers. There'll be a happy camp. Shukri Conrad and co. and Grant Morgan and company back to the drawing board. But what an interesting game of cricket. Well done to this under-19s.
It sets it up beautifully for tomorrow. I mean, the under-19s virtually guaranteed a semi-final spot, all to play for the Tuskers. For tomorrow, who they're going to play? They're going to play the Eastern Storm. The next game means so much for the Eastern Storm that if they can win, it sets up a knockout tomorrow, because they're going to play the Tuskers. What a game we're in for if the Eastern Storm can pull up a victory this afternoon.
Right, so our next game will be the Eastern Storms versus the Mpumalanga Rhinos, Ahmed. We look forward to that game. Should be exciting. There's lots to play for.
Well, that's what I said, lots to play for. Whoever wins that game is in with a shout. If the Eastern Storms do manage to pull out a victory, they will play a knockout against the Tuskers tomorrow. We should be back on air in about an hour's time at 1:30. So see you guys then. Thanks for joining us. It was a fantastic game of cricket. And thanks, Christo. We'll see you in an hour.
Cool. Thanks, Ahmed.